we've been sending balloons up to gauge the upper altitude winds, which are looking good. We've been keeping an eye on the thickness and height of some stratocumulus clouds.
Like
you can see them on the screen there. We don't want those clouds to be high enough or cold enough to form ice crystals.
Something I've always wanted to do, actually.
But those aren't a concern.
But it's finally something
launch.
I'm getting around to doing.
Engine chill began about 4 minutes ago. It's important to get the engines to the same temperature as the propellants so that the liquid oxygen does not suddenly turn into a gas upon contact with the much warmer plumbing, among other things.
So they're using a flight-proven booster, which is the first stage out, of course. But the first stage is reused, which is the flight-proven, which really just means reused. They haven't repainted it here, as you can see, so they've got the re-entry markings on it.
We've got several members of the Govsat-1 team in Florida to watch today's launch of Govsat-1. In particular, we would like to extend a warm welcome to the Prime Minister and Deputy Prime Minister of Luxembourg, as well as their Royal Highnesses, the Prince and Princess of Luxembourg, all of whom are watching today's launch in person from Florida.
They're lucky.
Designed exclusively to address governmental and institutional security user needs, Govsat-1 is the first satellite of Govsat, which is a public-private partnership between the government of Luxembourg and world-leading satellite operator SES. The public-private partnership is unique in that it allows governments to take advantage of the lower costs associated with commercial satellites while still meeting governmental security needs.
You done? Okay. Oh, let's watch this.
Govsat is a brand operated by LuxGovSat SA, a public-private joint venture company between the Luxembourg government and SES, the world-leading satellite operator. Our mission is to provide secure, reliable, and accessible governmental satellite communication services to address the demand resulting from defense and institutional security applications. Govsat-1 will be a multi-mission satellite, which will use X-band and military Ka-band transponders with wide beams, as well as with high-powered and fully steerable mission beams. As a geosatellite, Govsat-1 will provide superior, accurate, real-time information wherever it is required. Over Europe, Africa, Middle East, and substantial maritime coverage over the Mediterranean and Baltic Seas, as well as over the Atlantic and Indian Oceans.
We are coming up on T-minus 4 minutes before launch. We are tracking no issues at the moment. We've just finished up loading up the helium that's pressurizing the first and second stages, and we're in the very final stages of liquid oxygen and RP1 loading. By loading those propellants so close to launch, we can keep them very cold. And being denser, that means we can load a little bit more of each of those propellants onto the vehicle. We're also performing some final communications checks with the full Falcon 9. And also testing the thrust vector control system, which basically wiggles the engines to make sure that those are properly able to steer Falcon 9 during ascent. So we are preparing for Falcon 9 to take full control of the rest of launch. And the spacecraft is still a go for launch.
Good.
At this point, we're just coming up on about T-minus 3 minutes before launch. Let's listen in to the last few minutes of terminal count.
Oh, okay.
Stage 1 LOX load is closed out.
So, Falcon 9, pretty cool. Falcon Heavy, I believe, is launching in just a few days. Of course, it was supposed to launch in January, and it's February tomorrow. So there's that. Yeah, they're launching it in 5 days. And yeah. So the satellite is essentially just a surveillance / communication satellite. It essentially provides support. Well, government. Okay, so people over the ocean where it is will be able to use it, I believe, for communication, from what I've understood. So there's that. Not sure what's wrong with OBS. It's not picking up
Stage
my
2 lock
mic
load is closed out.
normal audio levels. Sorry, that was some thumbnail stuff. Let's see. You should be able to boost it a bit. Okay, well that'll help a small amount. Advanced, no. Huh. Okay, that might help a little. Looks like it has. Good.
Vehicles and stuff line.
So the smoke, it's not really smoke. It's actually just I think it's liquid oxygen. It is, I believe, liquid oxygen. Correct me if I'm wrong. It's liquid oxygen heating up into oxygen again. So yeah, if that wasn't being released, it would implode.
is ready for launch.
Would it implode? It would explode. Something would happen, and then kaboom
Falcon 9 is
goes
going to
the
start up.
rocket. And you don't want that when there's a lot of fuel right next to you. So, 50 seconds until startup. Or no, startup is now, isn't it? Yeah. Is that what the blue
Launch
ring
directors
is?
go for launch.
I haven't been listening. Been talking over here. Okay, so it is starting up as we speak. And
Minus 30 seconds.
so this is a liquid fuel booster, which means it's liquid fuel.
Minus 15 seconds. Stand by for terminal count.
Oh, bloody hell, I don't know what to say. I've never done anything like this before.
9, 8, 7,
SpaceX Live.
6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Ignition.
There it goes. There's just so much energy there that shakes. Even this far away here. It's crazy.
Stage 1 propulsion is nominal.
I mean, it looks like it's going super slow. It's not. I mean, compared to what it will be going, it is. But you'll see now it's already going nearly 500 kilometers an hour. I'm always like terrified that it's going to go kablamo.
And there you saw a successful liftoff of the Falcon 9. Stage 1 propulsion all looking
Like
nominal.
it's
Beautiful,
always
clear
something where I'm
shot
just
of
like,
Falcon
oh,
9 ascending
don't,
through the Florida sky there.
don't do it.
About to go through supersonic. You may see a sonic boom with this sort of clear sky.
Vehicle is supersonic.
Coming up shortly, we're about to
It is
enter max
supersonic,
Q. That's the point of maximum aerodynamic pressure when the rocket is pushing hardest against the atmosphere.
So as you can see, this thing is really moving. Oop, SpaceX now, once again.
Vehicle is passed through max
Nearly
Q.
2,000 kilometers an hour already.
We've successfully
Se-
passed
17
through that point. It's always a
kilometers
major
into the air,
milestone in
18,
every rocket launch.
19, 20, 21. That's just, it's insanely fast.
Impact engine chill.
We've just
this
begun
looks
chilling
really
the
cool
second
here.
stage engine for the same reason that we chill the first stage engine, to make sure that it's ready to be at the right temperature, the same temperature as the propellant. Coming up about 30 seconds from now, we're going to have a few events in quick succession. The first stage engines are going to cut off. The
Recovery vessel has AOS.
the two stages will separate, and the second stage will ignite.
Wow, they just cut him off. It's a bit rude.
Can see the plumes fading away as the rocket is getting out of the atmosphere.
Can hardly see it anymore.
Trajectory is still looking
It's
good.
already
And
59
those,
kilometers.
3 events, main engine cutoff, separation, and second stage ignition happening right now.
There it goes.
Maybe go.
As you can see, this engine here.
And
is
there
now
you saw it. First stage successfully cut off, the two
And
stages
there's-
separated,
here's
and the
the
second
first stage.
stage has begun its burn.
Well, it was here. No,
You
it's
saw the
not.
retaining ring fall away, and that protects the MVAC Merlin vacuum engine nozzle during shipping.
Okay, well now it's too far.
Again, we are not recovering the first stage on this mission, but we are about 30 seconds away from fairing deploy. The fairing protects the satellite during ascent, but it's not necessary once you get out of the atmosphere, and so we'll let it fall back to Earth to keep that
Stage 2
propellant
following nominal trajectory.
available to loft more satellite.
Fairing separation confirmed.
I don't know. Collecting.
And we've got confirmation of the fairings separating. You can see one of the fairing halves in the screen behind the second stage engine there.
I have a lot of notifications.
Beautiful clear shot of second
So
stage.
I'm not sure if they're
against
going to
the
do a
Earth background.
soft touchdown on the water or what, but
Acquisition of signal.
I would assume they'd do something. So the reason it isn't going up at 1 kilometer a second is because they're going more diagonal now. Or they're traveling more
Trajectory
horizontal
for
now instead
stage
of
2
nearly
is
straight
still
up.
nominal.
And
This
they
burn is
weren't
going to
going straight up
continue
in the
for
first
about
place.
another 4 minutes, at which point the second stage will then turn off its engine and have a coast phase for about 17 minutes. It'll be in a parking orbit at that time, and the coast phase will be preparing for the second burn, which will push the satellite into its geostationary transfer orbit.
So, yeah. That's it. Thanks for tuning in, I guess. We'll see if anything else interesting will happen here in the next couple minutes.
We're at about T plus 5 minutes and 20 seconds at the moment. At about this time, the first stage would be on its way back to the drone ship. And it's weirder to consider that we're not actually recovering this one. SpaceX has landed, I think it's about 20 first stages at this point, and the goal is for each first stage to last tens of launches in the short term and hundreds or thousands of launches in the long term.
So the reason they're not recovering it is they needed that extra delta V to get it up at high enough speed, and delta V is just the amount of energy, or I don't know how to explain it. It's the amount. It's essentially how much speed it gives the rocket, the satellite, whatever you want to call it.
T plus 6 minutes
So
and 15 seconds.
they don't have enough
Trajectory
fuel left
still
over in
looking
the
nominal.
Falcon 9 to land it.
And that second
So, yeah.
stage
And
burn going to
I don't think it
continue
would
for
be
another
too far downrange because
2
they do have
minutes
their
or
drone
so.
ships.
Stage 1 AFTSS saved.
Stage 1 entry burn has started.
Okay, so yeah, I think they will be doing a soft landing.
Stage 2 continuing along nominal trajectory.
Which is really just them smashing it into the ocean and then recovering it that way.
And stage 1 entry burn shut down.
You just heard the call out that the stage 1 had its entry burn start and then shut down. While we are having a re-entry burn, we are not recovering the first stage.
Okay, so I guess they're not recovering it whatsoever. They're just slowing it down, I guess.
T plus 7 minutes and 20 seconds. Second stage propulsion
So this
and
is
trajectory
essentially all it
also
is.
looking nominal,
You
just the
can
way
go
we
check out
like
the
it.
stream on their website, of course. I'm the
About
only
1 minute remaining
watching right now, so it doesn't matter.
In this first burn to get to
and
a
yeah.
low altitude
Well,
parking
not the
orbit
website, YouTube.
for Govsat-1.
Thanks for watching. I will see you next time.